The idea when you share content is after you share a piece of content, it's good to share a success story of somebody. So it's like, I'm going to share with you something about sales. Here's from this person who did well in sales. So a piece of content, share a success story of one of your clients. If you don't have any clients yet, you can share your own success stories. And if you haven't gotten any paid clients, you can share some people that you've helped, because you've probably been walking around helping lots of people. So be like, I worked with this person and I helped them do X. Okay? So it's good to share success stories because it breaks up the content. And then when you get to the end of the content piece 1, success story, content piece 2, success story, content piece 3, success story, then you would say something like, so in a moment, I'm going to invite you or extend an invitation to XYZ. So if you're online with somebody and you're doing a video, and let's say it's a webinar presentation or it's a YouTube presentation, you're going to say, in a moment, I'm going to extend an invitation for you to continue your education with me. A great bridge that I used on my first automated webinar that did really well was I taught the first 3 steps of my blueprint. And I'm like, great, so you've gotten the first 3 steps of the Message to Millions blueprint. And you have a good foundation. If you want permanent change in your business, pay really close attention to steps 4, 5, 6, and 7, because that's how you create permanent change. And whether you decide to join us or not, I want you to really listen to this, because this is the steps to actually build your XYZ. And so it gets the people who are not interested in hearing the offer, like, I don't want to hear the offer. And then it gets them paying attention from a learning perspective. And so now they're like, oh, I'm going to learn something in this offer. And so they're paying attention from a learning perspective, and as they're learning and listening, they're getting sold. Make sense? And the idea is they don't know what steps 4, 5, 6, and 7 are, so it actually is an educational experience for them. But if you just tell them, hey, in a moment I'm gonna make an offer, some people just like put their hands up and like they're not willing to receive an offer. So of course the offer is education, and if somebody doesn't know the 7 steps to get there, you're teaching them something they absolutely don't know. So the way you position that so they're open to it, you say, great, so in a moment I'm going to extend an invitation for you to join me in one of my year-long coaching programs. And whether you decide to join or not, I'm going to share with you the final 4 steps that help you do XYZ. And so that then gets them open to listening, and then they're listening because they want to know the final 4 steps. And then you go through steps 4, 5, 6, and 7, and you teach them. You're like, hey, here's what this is, here's what this is, and you kind of walk them through it. So depending on what you're offering up, for example, if you're selling an online course, maybe it's a $2,000 online course.
All right, quick pause. So if you're liking this and you want help applying it to your business, just click the link down below and you can book a free strategy call with one of my consultants. And these exact systems I'm sharing with you today, we've helped thousands apply them to their business. Let's get back to it.
You want to give them like how they're going to experience the delivery of it. So you would say something like, great, so as I walk you through the XYZ blueprint, the way that we're going to deliver this to you is it's an online coaching program. It's self-study. There's 7 different modules. There's 25 hours worth of content. And so when you get in, you'll be able to get into step 1 that I'm going to share with you right now and study it tonight. Make sense? If it's a seminar, it's like, great, so you're coming to my seminar. I want to extend an invitation for you to come to my seminar. It's a 3-day experience in person. And so they know how they're going to consume the content that you're going to walk them through in a minute. Not the content in the body of the presentation, the content of what you're selling. And so gets them to wrap their head around it. Oh, this is a mastermind. I'm going to be with Ted 3 times a year in person. There's monthly group coaching with it as well. I'm going to be with his team. There's private coaching, and I'm going to get private coaching from his marketing team. So you're like telling them how they're going to experience it, which is the mechanics of it, which isn't like, that's not why people buy, but if they're like, well, how am I going to consume this? They need to know. And then they're like, oh, I'm going to get some private coaching, some group coaching. I'm going to be with Ted. This is great. And so they're excited. And they know, okay, great. So tell me what the final steps are. And they want to know. Make sense? So I call that like, the container, like, the content you're going to teach me, Ted, like what container are you holding it in? The container is group coaching and one-on-one coaching and mastermind. That's how you're going to experience my content. And if you're ever doing an online presentation, the wording I just gave you on whether this or that is like gold, okay? Gold. You'll have a much higher conversion rate when you do it that way. So it's like in a moment, I'm going to introduce you or invite you to join me for a year-long experience in Stage Empire Mastermind. You know, whether you decide to join or not, right, these are the steps you need to build an empire. So pay close attention. Right? And I'm going to go through these steps, and what I've been sharing with you so far is great, but you're not going to get everything you can this weekend, or you're not going to get everything you can on this webinar. And so to get the final steps and create permanent change or lasting results, right, I want you to join my year-long to get the permanent change you deserve in your business. Make sense? Very specifically worded on an online presentation because they're not with you. They haven't had the experience. In 3 days in a seminar, you have the leeway, right? You can tell stories, you get in communication with people, you can see what's going on with the audience, you can tell what you need to do to move the rest of the room to buy. And so like you're just paying attention online. If somebody's watching a sales video, there's nothing to pay attention to. You have no idea what's going. So your words need to be precisely how they're being said here so that you can actually deliver a good sales video or a webinar presentation, you know? So that's the way you do that, and then you get people into it and they're like, oh, okay, tell me what the steps are that I'm gonna learn. And then you go into, great, so here's the first step that you're gonna learn in my year-long, or the first step you're gonna learn in my coaching program. And you go through step 1, which is basically like your blueprint that you guys are creating, like that's the pitch. So when you're in the pitch and then you get into the pitch, what I just gave you was the words to create the bridge. So you're creating the bridge. So just so it's not like an abrupt thing of like, oh, all of a sudden, he was just teaching me. How do we get into the offer? This is weird. So it's just one of these things where you want to create a bridge so that the communication is smooth. So as you're going into the communication, you're linking the content to the pitch, and the pitch actually is an educational experience with content as well. But once you mention an offer, sometimes people have a reaction to that. So you're just kind of smoothing the reaction so the people listening, everybody can get the benefit of it no matter what their perception is, because they're there to learn. So if they're going to continue to learn, they continue to learn. Okay, then you get into step 1 and you deliver step 1. Now it's good to have also success stories in your pitch as you're getting into, hey, here's what you're going to learn with me for the year. So you'd want to have like step 1 and step 2 and deliver that, and then drop a success story. And then you go through the next step and the next step, and you drop a success story. Does this make sense? Okay. So if you guys write that down real quick, right after your content, in the body of your content piece 1, content piece 2, content piece 3, then you have the bridge to the offer. It's called the bridge to the offer.
So if you're serious about scaling your business online and you want help with my one-to-many selling method to sell on podcasts or webinars or virtual stages or in person, then click the link down below and book a free strategy call. My coaches will help you implement it. We've worked with over 30,000 businesses on these very same strategies. Click it down below and go book. See you soon.